Hey everyone, this is Dirt Pro with the Milson Perspective. I just want to give a quick first look review of the Elite Force Tavor. It's the elite level Tavor. Just want to go over some real basic stuff. I have not had an extensive amount of time to test in the field, but I still feel there's some information that is not out there yet that I can share. First of all, just looking at it compared to an M4, it's obviously a little bit shorter. The receiver being in the stock is the reason for that. The length of pull, meaning the distance between the back of the gun and the grip, is about the same as an M4 with its stock fully extended. Let's see if I can move that forward so you can get a little better view. There you go. It's right about the same. So that's also going to be about the same length of pull as an M16. So if you're small, you have short arms, that might be a little bit of a deal for you. I'm just going to start at the front of the rifle and work my way back. Over here at the front end, we have just a standard A2 flash hider. Nothing special there. The one that comes from Elite Force is plastic, so if you want a metal one, you'll need to order it. Moving back, the front handguard has a button on the left-hand side of the weapon. On the real Tavor, this activates a laser that's you can purchase it and integrate it into the gun. But on the Elite Force model, it opens the battery compartment. So that just snaps off real easily. You've got your small connector there. The battery compartment is not very large. It does go into the handguard, or into the body of the gun a little ways, but it's only, I would say, barely large enough for a 9.6. That's all I've been able to cram in there. So you're not going to get a large type battery in there by any stretch of the imagination. I do feel that this is still a better design than the other Tavor offerings because it allows for quick change access if you need to swap out in the middle of play. You're only going to be down for 30 seconds or so. Moving rearward, we have a large protection for the trigger. The Israeli way to shoot this rifle is you put your forearm on this part of the weapon and your hand just kind of wraps around the foregrip. It's a little different than what we American shooters are used to. There's a standard, almost AR-like selector switch, 3-position, safe, semi, and auto. It's a little bit gritty. It's not as snappy as most AR or the higher end AR AGs and gas blowback rifles, but it doesn't bother me. Moving rearward, this is the magazine well right here. This trigger in front of it is what is going to release your mag. I thought initially that I might bump it while I'm holding the gun, but I haven't had any issues with that whatsoever. Moving farther back, this is your bolt release. On the real gun, it releases the bolt. On the airsoft gun, it releases your piston to fly forward once you're done shooting, and also closes your ejection port, which opens and closes when it fires, because this is an electric blowback rifle. The integrated QD mount right here in the rear provides a great place for your sling to hook up, and then simply in the back we just have a rubber butt pad. On top of the rifle, there's flip up sights integrated into the rifle. You have just a standard post with just a standard adjustment. You can use an AR tool or a shell casing, or a bullet point or something of that nature. In the rear, this small peep sight flips up. It's kind of a small hole. If you want to use it for very close range work, you might want to drill it out a little bit, but it's not a big deal because the gun does include this Picatinny rail, so you can mount any optic on it you want. The rail is rather short. It's only enough room for one optic. You're not going to have enough room to throw NV or anything on there, but you already have backup sights integrated, so I can't really think of anything else you'd want to put on the rifle. It does come with an accessory rail, which fits on the slot for the charging handle. Whichever side you don't have your charging handle on, you can put it on that side. It's very easy to install, just has 2 Allen screws. I recommend you Loctite it if you're going to be using this rail. The rail does come on the gun. I took it off because I really don't have anything else to put on it. I have no desire to run a flashlight or anything. As I hinted, the charging handle does work. Draws the, I was going to say bolt, but it's really just a cover to the rear, giving you access to your hop-up, just a standard AR style hop-up back there. And then, as mentioned, your bolt release lets it snap forward. If you fire the rifle with the port closed like this, it does bounce back and forth and gives a report while you fire. If you draw it to the rear and fire it in this configuration, the cover does not bounce back and forth, and the gun just sounds like a normal AEG. So in case you want to be super quiet for some reason, that's the way to go. As you can see, it looks like there's a piece missing here. I actually have a cover off. It's just a small piece of metal that covers that piece. I'm in the process of converting my Tavor into a left-handed rifle. So this is the brass deflector. It usually goes on the right-hand side of the gun. I put it on the left-hand side because this is the way that I would configure a real Tavor to work. And I switched the charging handle to the right side of the gun so I can access it a little better. Still in the process of figuring out how to transfer the fire select lever over. It seems to be just right-handed, but I'll probably have one machined for me. The gun does come with real IWI, that's the company that makes the real Tavor trademarks, and a serial number from Elite Force. And I believe that's about it. Just on features, I found that this rifle is really easy to take apart. It actually comes apart quite a lot like the real Tavor. As mentioned, push the button here to release. This reveals two Allen screws, one on each side. If you pull those out, this entire black piece on the top will slide forward towards the muzzle and all the way out of the gun. This gives you access to the top of your gearbox, your hop-up area, and then there's 4 screws that hold the barrel in. You can pull those out and swap to a different length barrel if you desire. Also in the back, there is just this pin. As you can see, I can just push it out. Allows the buttstock to hinge down and gives you access to your motor. Also, let's see if the camera can see this. In the back of the gearbox, that slot, that is a quick change spring. So if you want to be able to swap back and forth between CQB and field velocities, that's the way to do it. Just simply installing this pin back in the body, get your rifle back in the fight. And that's it. There's another QD mount on this side. I would say that this rifle is absolutely suited both for field and close quarters play. It's very short in front of you when you shoulder it, and that makes it great for rounding corners, working mount sights, anything like that. There's a lot of corners, there's a lot of dark. Just throw a tack light on there or just run dark and you'll be good to go. Recently, American Milsim changed some of their rules and allowed under 400 feet per second rifles to fire inside of buildings on semi-auto. So this is a huge advantage. If you have a rifle like this, you've got the length of an M16 almost barrel with the compactness of about an MP5 once you've got it shouldered. So I consider that to be a huge advantage, because what I see all the time is guys go to play at a mount facility or some other CQB site and they don't realize that they have to shoot their way into the building, and that takes a lot of range because you've got guys on roofs that are shooting back at you, and so you have to have better range than them to even get in the building before you can use your stubby weapon to clear it. I have noticed that the magazine, or it's a little bit harder to insert than on a normal M4. M4 magwell is flared to allow a magazine to go in. This is flared a little bit less. I'll probably file it out a little bit to make a larger flare. Didn't mention this before, it does take standard AR mags. So Elite Force, just any M4 mag will work. I have tried it with King Arms and Elite Force and Mag brand mags, and they work fine. My ammo of choice is the Elite Force 2.8 Bio BB. It, as seen in my other very brief and terribly non-edited video, threw out about a 14-inch cylinder or circle at about 150 feet, and I was able to plink away at it with no problem on semi and full auto with those BBs and the included high cap mag. If you're looking for some kit to go with your new Tavor, I would absolutely recommend the Pantech Tactical Plate Carrier. It's a small, lightweight plate carrier, keeps you agile, just like this gun, and you can get some fake plates for it. Got plenty of room for your standard loadout on it. That's about all I've got for you. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and thanks for the views. Check out the Milsim Perspective. You can purchase this gun and numerous accessories and other weapons for all of your Milsim needs. Thank you very much.